If you can do hair, if you have a talent like that, it would be a waste not to perfect it, not to have it down, and not to utilize it. Especially. Welcome back. Excuse me. I don't know what's going on, but I've been playing in the cold, in the snow. It snowed around our area in the DMV last weekend, and it's been really, really cold. So I've been out in it. I've been back and forth with the kids. So forgive me, my throat is a little bit off, like the way I'm talking and stuff. Hopefully you guys can still hear me. So I need to get my energy up. Like, why is my energy so low right now? I don't know, but we're gonna see. We're gonna figure it out. So I'm gonna probably just kind of wing this a little bit. Ooh, I just got a little dizzy, y'all. I don't know what's going on with me today. I'm a little out of it. Let's go ahead and start shooting because I don't have that much start talking and do my makeup because I don't have that much time on there. I'm going to try to talk you guys through everything that I'm using, but if I forget, please just remind me down in the description what it is you wanted me to tell you that I'm using if I didn't mention it, and I will try to put all the products down in the description. I really just want to do my makeup and get it done. First, I want to thank you guys. Anybody who has purchased off of the WIGS sale, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys. It was a really good feeling. I keep saying this. I've said this in a couple lives. I've gone live a couple times and said this. But thank you guys to anybody who purchased from my website, royalbeauty.com. The wigs that you guys purchased were wigs I had in my closet. Some were brand spanking new, like I just reviewed them, and some were like I reviewed a while ago and they've just been in my closet and I haven't been using them. I haven't worn them even once out. Like, they literally were just in my closet. And yeah, it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous for me to have all of that in there. So thank you guys for helping me not only get rid of those wigs, but you're also supporting this channel by purchasing on that website, because I use that money towards, I use that money right back into the business. For those of you who don't know, I do this full time. I'm an entrepreneur, influencer, YouTuber, mompreneur. You know, I do this full time. And yeah, that's definitely my bread and butter right now. Comes from obviously the wig sales, things on my website, if I put anything up there on my website. And then I also do hair and makeup locally in the DMV area. So that is another way that I get income. But that is very, very, that's a different little, that's different. It's a different hustle for me. I became a mompreneur, or, you know, entrepreneur, I want to say, when I was pregnant with my daughter. So I was pregnant with her, not fresh out of college, because I was still kind of, I was in college, but out. I did a story time about that, you guys. So if that story is kind of separate. So if you want to know like a little bit more about that, I know the audio in that video sucks. Oh my gosh. It's hard doing chit chat, get ready with me's. Yeah, that video, that was one of the videos where my mic got cut off and I didn't even realize that it got cut off. So the audio sucks. I keep thinking about doing another video. I keep thinking about redoing that video. I think I need another light. Like, I feel like this is really dark. There we go. Yeah, I think that's so much better. I'm sorry, you guys. I don't know why I didn't have that light on this whole time. Okay, so yeah, in that video, I was talking about just my story time about dropping out of college for a man. It was a whole thing. So the video is definitely a video that I suggest you go watch. But I've been thinking about probably doing that video over, because it didn't really I didn't really get to have the audio be the way that I wanted, and I felt like it annoyed me, so it would probably annoy you guys. But if you have seen it, let me know if you've seen it and what you think. And if you haven't seen it, yeah, maybe go check it out and then let me know what you think and if I should do it over. It is a lot. It's like a mirror into my journey and the beginning of me becoming an mompreneur, an entrepreneur, and finding my niche, finding what I'm good at, and realizing that I can make money doing something that I love doing. So that is a big part of me, and I'm really proud of how far I've come. entrepreneur wise and even just like self-love wise, because for a long time I felt like super guilty because it's like it was bashing my head that I was like I was shaming well, not even that I was shaming them, because I didn't feel like I did that on purpose. That wasn't me trying to like, oh, I'm just gonna ruin my folks' lives and make them look like shitty parents. That was not my intention ever. I never felt like bad about the decision that I made decisions that I made or whatever. It was more so just always still trying to make my parents feel good and always trying to make sure that everybody around me was happy and felt better. But as I look back, I realized that, oh my gosh, like I'm so happy. I have no regrets. I'm so happy that I kept my daughter. I'm so happy that, things played out the way that they are, that my husband's like A1. He's an awesome man. He's a great man. So all those things combined make me feel like, wow, like you came a long way. Like we've gone through a lot that I don't share with you guys because a lot of stuff is personal. I share enough with you guys, but not all of it is my business to tell. Like, my husband and my kids have lives too. They have, I don't want them to feel like I'm just putting all their business on Front Street, and for a long time, I basically didn't even want to tell a lot of the story, behind my journey or me leaving college or all that stuff. Like I didn't want to do that because I didn't want my parents to feel like they were on blast. I was protecting my parents because the African community is so damn small, like, or the Sierra Leonean community anyway, like in the DMV, it's like big but small. It's like so many Africans, but it's small. Like word travels so fast and so rapid and so like in the negative news, it travels the most, the fastest, so it's one of those things that I just didn't want to like, I didn't want it to come back onto me and then people giving my parents a hard time or whatever. But then I got a little bit older and I was just like, you know what, people are legit thinking that I was just this disrespectful little girl that was out here trying to be fresh, and the whole time I had only slept with one man my whole entire life. Happened to get pregnant, but he wasn't like a stranger. He was like, he's family, not not family like my cousin, but like we knew each other. We knew each other's parents. We were around each other as kids, So it wasn't like a big, oh my gosh, I can't believe that girl did that to her parents. But that's what people were trying to do and like make it out to be. And so for that reason, I kept trying to like hold it back for so long. And then I realized, no, for that reason, I need to like speak up because I know dang well that is not how the story went. And now it's time for me to speak up because my daughter is also going to grow up and hear this story and also going to feel her little ways or whatever at some point. I want her to know about this and know that she can talk to me. And on top of that, forget what everybody says sometimes. Mom's not even always right. I would like for you to feel like I'm always right, but I'm not always right. There's going to be times you're going to have to question what I say. And that's cool. That's okay. I'm not going to fault you for that. But you got to make sure you make rational decisions for your life. You don't just go with the flow of other people telling you that this is what you're supposed to be doing. Like, I want you to feel like I know best, yes, but always question stuff too. Think for yourself. All that being said, y'all, like, that story time was a big story time for me. So I really wanted it to be a good video, and I procrastinated. I waited so long to even do that story time. And then I shot the video and the freaking sound was horrible. It was just so bad. I think I'm going to pause the video so that I can finish doing my eyebrows. So up until this point, I've basically just used Easy Breezy Brow by CoverGirl to basically tint my brows and seal them to make them look like, a little bit lighter. A lot of the wigs that I'm getting ready to review for you guys are going to be like ash blonde colors, lighter colors. So I just like my eyebrows, and in general, I just like my eyebrows to be a little bit lighter now. I don't like them to be like deep, dark, dang near black looking. Like I want them to be a lot lighter. Okay guys, so I'm back. I have done my eyebrows. I basically I'm still like getting my eyebrows down. I have not perfected an eyebrow routine and how I like my brows. I just wing it every freaking time. Hopefully this year I will get it down to where I'm like, okay, this is how I'm doing my brows from now on, and I like it. I absolutely never like my brows ever. Anyway, so I'm done doing them though, and now we can get back into my eyelid. I don't feel like showing every product today. I'm so tired and I don't know where it came from. I was not this tired. I was not this tired earlier. I had so much energy. I think I ate. I ate some cassava leaf. I ate some African food, y'all. That's probably what got me with this itis, because I'm like, where did I get tired? I was hype. I was ready to do this video. From the Saharan palette, I'm just using this shade right here. I'm using this shade and I just went all over my lid with that. And this is the Topaz Obsession palette. And I'm going to use this shade. I am in love with this shade in my crease. And then I kind of just leave it to be smoky. A lot of people have been, like I said, talking about the one look that I did a couple of days ago on my makeup. And I really just kept it simple. Like I kept it so simple. I start kind of pushing it into my crease and just fanning it out, blending it out, and just to give my eyelid some depth. But I'm not gonna go ham. I'm really not gonna do that much with this look. From that story time, like I said, you will find out a lot more about me as a person, or not even as a person because I don't talk that much, but about me and my journey and just how crazy my journey has been. So I became a mompreneur because I was doing hair when I was pregnant. I had to be on bed rest when I was pregnant because, you know, I was just not in the best state and I couldn't really work the way I wanted to as well because I didn't have a lot of my information. It's a long, long story, but because I didn't have all that information that I was supposed to have from my parents and, you know, stuff that you need in order to work, I had to be at home. And I felt inadequate. I felt bad because my now husband, then boyfriend and baby daddy, was going to work, y'all. He was going in. He was going in for his baby and his girl. He was making sure that we were good. He's just such a stand-up guy and such a blessing, and he never left my side on that journey. He basically went so ham for us that I started feeling so bad that, you know, I could literally ask him for anything and he would try to get it from me, but I didn't like that, you know. I didn't like that it was all on him, that I couldn't go to work. I couldn't do much. So I started doing hair in the house, and I had been doing hair all through high school anyway. So it was a talent of mine that I knew I had. I just never pursued it when I should have, which was in high school, where we had courses where you could basically get your license. I could have became a licensed beautician or get my license in the beauty, in the cosmetology, in high school. Like I could have gotten that. But because my parents had already set out how they wanted me to go to, you know, be in the medical field, and I was set on trying to make sure they were proud of me, I basically just got put on that. But now look at me. In that era, in that industry, in this era of beauty is winning, okay? I feel like I'm playing catch up. I'm kind of inadequate, and I feel a little like I've been feeling left out for the past couple of years in the industry because I got to working. Like I got to being a corporate, like working like a robot. Like I felt like I was working. I was still doing hair and stuff on the side, but I wasn't doing it to my full potential. Like I wasn't doing it full time and really going ham like I know I can, you know? I was basically putting all of that on the back burner, but for good reason. I had some good reasons, a lot of family stuff, and trying to make sure that, you know, everybody's good, my husband's good, that we're all good. And so that was for good reason why I did that. Right at the peak of me like popping off and just, I was doing so well. I was in the forefront of YouTube doing its thing. So as I was starting out YouTube, I started doing more of these videos and more of playing around, watching videos, and getting more excited about doing videos back then. And because I had my YouTube in 2006, so yeah, I've been doing videos and things like that for some time, but not a lot of them are still up because I took some of them down, but there's some that are still up. I basically was just I was just starting out and gaining so much traction, so much love, so much, like I had clientele. I had so much clientele. I had a regular clientele base that even just 5 people a month, you know, I knew they were coming and I didn't have to worry about that. I mean, I wanted to make more, obviously, but the only reason why I wasn't making more was because at the time, because I didn't have my license, I was like, you know what, I can only charge a certain amount. So that got put on the back burner once I became a corporate robot going in. And at first it was supposed to be short term. It was supposed to be just to make sure things were good. And it became long term. And I got more and more stuck in not the love, but the comfort of knowing when your check is coming. Girl, I got stuck in the comfort of that. You know, following the lead of the breadwinner, the real breadwinner in the household, knowing like, okay, I didn't want to make a hasty decision on jumping out there when I knew the time was right, because it could potentially cause the household to be, you know, I didn't, all those if, ands, and buts, you worry. You worrying about bills, you worrying about all types of stuff, and you want to make sure that at the end of the day, you don't cause your household to be in turmoil because you wanted to do something for you. And you get caught up, like I think moms always get caught up in that. I think a lot of us, especially moms, honestly. Moms, it's a known thing for moms, especially, to just get caught up in that feeling of, you know, I'm not going to cause my babies not to be able to eat. No, ma'am, not me. You know, our babies are not going to go without food. Nowhere. We're not. So you don't want to put your household in jeopardy, even though you know one person in the household could potentially take care of everything while you pursue your passion. You're just like, it's really good right now. And the independent part about it, like being independent, being able to not ask my husband, like going from one point being like, okay, I do have to ask for this or to get my nails done or whatever. Like, you know, can I get somebody to get my nails done? To he's sending me to go get my nails done, but I could clearly pay for it myself if I wanted to. Like, he's sending me to go get my nails done because he's looking out and he's like trying to treat me, but it's a treat. I could do it myself. You see what I'm saying? And we could go half on dinner. We could go, or he doesn't have to go half at all. You know, to go from that to he doesn't have to pay for grocery, but either one of us could get grocery when we're out, to can you transfer money for grocery? Like, stuff like that is different. To go from that to like be having to do that, even for a little bit, can be really hard. After I had my daughter, I had a C-section. So I was even more home now. I couldn't work for some time, doing the same things for some time. And then after that, I was still home with baby. Then I would try to like do my client stuff. I would still do hair. So why waste money on a regular sitter anyway when I could be home and take care of baby, raise baby, heal up, and make money still doing what I was doing as I'm building my brand. Still learning at the time. Like, I was lowballing the heck out of myself. Y'all, like, when I say lowballing, I started beauty school actually after, like, while I was pregnant with my son, which I found out after having my daughter. So I was pregnant with my daughter. I was raising my daughter. My daughter's a toddler. She's about to be 1 or 2. Then I get pregnant with my son, back to back. So then that just like was like, whoa, another whoa. Okay, so pregnant back to back, and again, bed rest again, because at first I got pretty far, but as I got bigger, I was put on bed rest. And by this time, I had enrolled myself into cosmetology school. I had enrolled myself into, because I didn't have a car, I wasn't driving, I had enrolled myself into driving school. I had enrolled myself with the money that I was making from doing hair. I paid for it myself. And also I was paying my school fees so that I could go to cosmetology school. So I was trying to get it. Like, I was like, okay, I got this talent. I know I can make money doing this. This is for me. So now how do I get it? Go to cosmetology school. Good. I need a car. I'm gonna need to drive. Hubby's working all the time, and we got these 2 cars, but I can't drive one of them. I don't know how to drive yet. I'm teaching myself how to drive. Why I didn't know how to drive up until that time, we can ask my parents that. They weren't really trying to teach me to drive or nothing. It wasn't a big thing for me to learn how to drive before high school, because it was like, we drive everywhere. Where do you need to go? Where do you need to go? And on top of that, just kind of a control thing, I guess. Everything I obtained outside of when I left the house, basically. I learned all that stuff once I got at the house. And when I was in cosmetology school, I was already getting through. I was learning new stuff. I done made some friends. I'm like doing pretty good or whatever. And really proud of myself, because I'm making it to class on time. I'm doing everything I got to do. And I know that this is going to be a good look for me, because once I leave cosmetology school, I'm only going to be better at working. And not only working, but better at money management, because I'm going to know how much I can charge for stuff now. It's going to be so much better. Like, I had a plan, y'all. I was ready. I was so ready for this to pop off. But then because I was put on bed rest again during this time, and I refused to actually do the bed rest. They kept telling me I had to be on bed rest, and I kept saying, I can't miss it. I need to finish this course before I give birth, or get close to being done before I give birth, because when I give birth, I want to be ready to be able to charge what I want to charge, and also build some more clientele while I'm here. That's the plan. Like, I'm not trying to, no. And I refuse. And a lot of my friends that I had made were like, you're crazy. Like, you're going to hurt yourself. I wouldn't listen. I am going to finish this course before I go any damn where. And my baby boy is going to come in with his mom ready to graduate. So I'm not listening to y'all. So you guys are not going to believe this, but as you can see, my face is majority done now, because I shot a whole second segment once my camera died, doing my face, talking, telling you guys a whole story, and my mic was off. So I'm just going to stop doing my makeup really quickly to kind of update you on what I was talking about. I'm going to post everything down in the description box for you guys. So everything that I used in order, what I used it for, will be listed down in the description. Anyway, what I was saying, when I was in the cosmetology course, they basically did like an intervention. Once they found out that I was supposed to be on bed rest and I was still showing up to school, they were like, no, honey, you can't just... Now my husband's calling. Hold on. Hello?
Hey, what's going on?
Nothing.
Everything straight?
Yeah, I'm shooting.
Alright. Well, I'll hit you up later then.
Okay. Alright. I'm put on my lashes while I talk to y'all, or put the glue on my lashes at least. They knew that I was supposed to be on bed rest, and I would be in pain while I was in class. So it's kind of evident, because I would, we have to stand for long hours. Like, we're not allowed to sit on when we're in certain areas of the class. Certain parts of the class we don't sit. We have to stand, because you have to get used to standing on your feet for a long time. And I was doing that at home with my regular clients when I wasn't even in class. And then I was doing that in class. I was like, I'm gonna get my money and doing something good for myself. I like really want to set this tone. Like, I want to take over. Like, I want to do what I need to be doing. And it's only because I felt like they're tripping harder than... Not that I didn't care about my baby, of course not, or I didn't care about my well-being. It was more that I felt like they were exaggerating. I could do this. You know what I'm saying? Like my mom did it. Like I could do this. Like it's not that bad. I will get my rest, but my feet would swell up so bad. Like you could see that my feet were swelling. And my ankles, like it was just bad. I don't know. I was being stubborn because I did not want to set myself back. I did not want to miss that train of like, you know, me getting in there and doing my thing. And I knew once I had baby boy, now I have two little ones running around, and the chances of me getting right back into school were going to be slim because I have to get a sitter now. I have to work this out, and then hubby's working. I just wanted to, before my baby came, have at least my license, my cosmetology license, so that no matter what, you know what I'm saying, I could still make bank. Like I still make some money because I would have the license now behind it. And for some reason, you know, that would give me more respect, and people would respect me more, respect my hustle more. And I wouldn't have to fight to get what I was supposed to be charging for anyway, if that makes sense. And it was basically like an intervention. They were basically saying to me that I had options, that it was brought to their attention that I'm supposed to be on bed rest, and they don't want me to have, you know, any situation where I put myself or the baby in harm's way or at risk. They appreciate my dedication, and they know that I really want this, but they wanted to make sure that we did it safely. So they wanted to give me some options. They were saying that I could withdraw, and I was like, withdraw? My face was like, you want me to withdraw? I ain't come all this far. No. Withdraw for what? Like, no, I was not on board for that. That's not happening. All this time, all the stuff I went through to make sure I could pay for this, like on my own, all the stuff that I went through to make sure that, you know, I was coming to class, like, and you want me to withdraw, just throw it away? But I didn't really understand what they're trying to say. They broke it down, and basically the way that it works, if you do get withdrawn or something happens and messes up your time at school, as long as you're in good standing before that happens, you have potential to come back. You can literally write a letter. It goes to the board, the school board, and a couple of people, and they all go over your records, go over your, you know, your grades while you're in there. They talk to whoever they're supposed to talk to, and then get, you know, you get a recommendation from them or whatever, and then you're good to go to come back. But you can get accepted back in, and with your credits that you had before you left. So I didn't really understand that at first, and then they broke it down, and then it made sense. And they told me that they would much rather me doing that, go home, have a healthy baby, and heal, and then come back. They would rather have me do that than to use my leave. They said I could use my leave. I could actually use my paternity leave early and then just go home, use my maternity leave early. But they thought that the best way would be to withdraw completely and take a break, because withdrawing meant I could just come back and be in the same spot. But my maternity leave is important for me to have in case of emergencies and things like that once I have the baby. So it would be best to have the baby, then use my maternity leave for taking care of the baby versus taking my maternity leave early. Get what I'm saying? Your grades are great. You're doing good. You know, all the notes on your progress have been good. So you can come back and you will be fine. Had a healthy baby boy, had a C-section, another C-section, and I ended up staying home after the C-section, obviously. You know, home taking care of baby and healing. But girl, you would have thought I was like in the hospital thinking about it, breathing about it, like ready to like send that letter. I was already writing that letter, because you have to send a letter to the board for them to read over and approve for you to be allowed to come back. Honey, I must have had baby boy, and 2 weeks after I had baby boy, I sent that letter in so that they could just get the process going. Like, and now I have a toddler and a whole baby. Like, it was amazing, and I was so excited, and I was loving motherhood. I just love my little baby boy, and I love my little girl, and they loved each other. It's so blissful. Like, I was really, 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 really on cloud nine. I loved it. I still love it, and that was like the greatest feeling ever. So then it made me even more motivated. Like, I gotta get back in there ASAP. So maybe 2 weeks into having this baby boy, I'm ready to go back in, and I'm sending this email. I put together this perfect letter, and telling them why I wanted to come back. And, you know, my motivation was so high now. It was even more high. So, you know, my kids were even more of an inspiration to that now. Like, I was just so excited to get back in there. So I emailed them. And I got back in. Your girl got back accepted almost immediately. So I basically just needed to wait a couple more weeks to heal and do what I need to do, you know, to make sure the kids were good and that we will all be ready and prepared for me to go back. I didn't want to be a housewife. I loved being home taking care of my kids, and that was one thing. But if I was going to be home, I was going to be making money at home. Like, that was the mission, y'all. I was always a go-getter. Like, don't get it twisted. There are a lot of people who didn't believe that. A lot of people who talked a lot of shit and thought that my husband is going and working 1,000 jobs and he's not getting, you know, that I'm not out here grinding and busting my butt. I would tie my baby girl onto my back, like Lapa style, if y'all know how Africans do, wrap the babies on our back. I was literally tying the baby on my back. I had a full C-section with a gash going from here to here, in pain, and I was still booking clients with feet swollen, and I was doing hair, busting out those heads, doing braids, no less, because I wasn't doing weaves in the beginning. I was doing braids, and as I was doing braids, I was kind of like, you know, I was watching weaves kind of take off. I mean, weaves were always there, but I was kind of seeing that the money was the weaves. Like, I was seeing that weaves were taking off too. People were really getting into all kinds of new different techniques and things like that for weave. And I was like, ooh, that's money. I could do these braids, but they take longer. So I was trying to work smarter, not harder. And I was like, the weaves, they look like they take, like, you know, not as long, and I could make even more money. Heck yeah, I'm gonna jump for that and try to get into that. If y'all remember Invisible, the invisible part, I was nailing the invisible part. I was getting that down. I was doing it on myself, and a lot of times I was learning everything on myself. So anything that I saw online or off of YouTube, I was basically teaching myself in the meantime while waiting to be able to go back to school. And boom, I was just waiting that time to go back to school, and then my husband gets the offer, like a job offer, in a whole nother state, in a whole nother area, far away from this school. So I done got accepted into the school. I'm just waiting my time now to be able to go back, and I can't go back because we are not only moving a little ways away. I was also not driving at the time. People don't know, but I didn't get my license. I didn't get my ID. I didn't get any of those things till I left home. I was at 19 and still didn't have any of those things before I left home. So now it's like 20, 20, 21, 22, 20, 21, 22, something, whatever, in that time range. And now I was just now getting my license, all that stuff, because in the African home, like, your mom is not, well, my mom, she wasn't with it. Like, what do you need a car for? We drive you everywhere. So what do you need a car for? Like, literally dogging every move I made into adulthood, because it was more like, oh, you just want to be fast. You just want to be out here messing with these boys. And so that's why I didn't get to do a lot of those things. And at the time, I didn't think of it as that. But then now as an adult, it actually was hindering me, because I could have been so far ahead even in that, like knowing streetwise, knowing how to get certain places, driving, you know, knowing how to be an adult and be independent, even more so independent. So no man can ever be like, oh, you know, over you. You know, thank God my husband was not like that. If anything, he saw potential in me, and he loved me so much that he wanted me to not need him. That is the biggest thing. Like, a man that doesn't want you to need him and is helping you and wants you to be like, you know what I'm saying, wants you to be good for real. It's like nothing you could ever say about that man to me. I would never, ever. You can't say nothing to me about that. I will always give him that, hands down. He definitely has always been my rock. He's been my ride or die, and I've been the same to him. We literally have each other's back. Literally have had each other's back for years. The past 12 years have been amazing, because no matter what you say, you can't tell me nothing about him and his support and just how he goes in for his family. So during that time, you know, I basically felt like I really needed to show and prove and do my thing, it just sucked because now that I was getting the opportunity to really pop off and do my thing, we did have to move because he was the breadwinner. Moved our whole family, and I was ready to move anyway, to a whole nother state. Moving to that other state, didn't have my license, didn't have anything really that put me in a position to be able to drive back and forth. And at one time, we had one car, so I would have to drive after he would come home from work. The time frame that my husband would come home from work would not work with the time frame that I needed to be all the way across town in another state for a class. I would be late every day, and that was a no-no. So here I am in a whole nother state, brand new apartment. We love it. We have our own space. You know, the kids are good. We're healthy, but my passion is now kind of like taking a standby. So I basically was a little discouraged, but I was like, we're just going to keep trekking. So I started looking for beauty schools within the area to see like, okay, maybe I can just switch gears and I'm just going to do a school around here. Nothing. They didn't have no beauty schools, and I'm a black girl, clearly. And I'm going to try to, obviously, my cater to my sisters. I'm going to try to, give this area. In this particular area, they didn't have too many black hairstylists. So this was like a perfect area for me to now dominate, to now come in and be the it girl for them in the area. So it kind of put me in a place where I had to like come to an understanding that it's going to probably be a while before I was able to go to beauty school. I was going to have to focus on being a mommy, build my clientele in the area, and then just wait my turn. A lot of things happened in between that time. So I was building my clientele, and I had so many clients that I was overwhelmed and happy, but I wanted to charge more. I wanted the respect of not just doing hair in my apartment. I wanted to be able to get a salon. I wanted to be able to kind of go further with it. And it just wasn't happening fast enough. It wasn't consistent enough. The clients weren't consistent enough. I had clientele that were consistent. I had at least 10 clients that I knew were coming. Shoot, I even had clients that were coming from where I used to live, would drive all the way to me because they wouldn't go to anybody else. I still have clients. Those same clients still come to me. So that was like enough for me to feel like I can do this. This is going to be great. I was at the peak of my, like, doing it. I was getting it in. And just some stuff like happened that I can't really talk about right now. It's not my story to tell, but some stuff happened and I had to make a drastic change. Like money wise, it was going to have to be more of a consistent amount of money coming in for me to make sure that my household, no matter what happened, that we would be good. So I did start working, and I was busy just trying to make sure that money came in. That I got stuck. Like, it wasn't what I wanted to do right away, but I figured I could do that and then also do hair at home. That didn't work. I started losing my clients. Left and right because I was known as the 24/7 hairstylist, braider, whatever. I would take you at any time. I will still, to this day, if I will take you at any time. You literally just have to let me know as soon as possible, and if I can, I will take you. I was known as that person, and it worked because in the area, a lot of people were going to work super early, coming late, working crazy shifts. So it worked because I was able to be available for these people at any given time. And it worked for me because I was a stay-at-home mom, that the kids, were never without me, and I never without a parent. We didn't have to pay for a sitter. We didn't have to pay for nothing. I could take care of my kids hands on. They were good. And at the same time, I was making money. So I didn't care if you wanted to come at 4 o'clock in the morning, 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning. I was available. And so I made it a thing to be like, that was my thing. And I wasn't nasty to people. I had my customer service down. So this was a good thing. This was growing, and I was only learning more and more about stuff. I was only getting better. But because I decided to go in and start working and mixing the two, my hours started shifting, things started shifting. I wasn't able to be as available for my clients as they needed me to. And once I turned down 2 or 3 times that I couldn't do their hair, unfortunately, it became a thing now. It was just like, I'm probably not going to be available for these people the way that I would like. So I started losing people, and I'm still like a little hurt by that. yeah, I was really hurt by that because I felt like I was in a good space. It may have not been consistent, but I had word of mouth clients. And I feel like that time frame was like the prime. Like I was in there. And that the gap, the 5 to 6 year gap in between me doing hair consistently and now is what hindered my progress because I was definitely like on moves. On the other note, I was still making money. Like I was making money working. So my household was good. Like my kids are good. We never are going without. And on another note, I was really now having that independence of I don't have to ask my husband for nothing. Before we're married, like I can now I paid off all of my debt. Some time I had to live in, and my debt was medical bills. Like it wasn't anything crazy because I didn't have credit cards. I didn't have anything crazy. But just my medical bills that I had just sitting around. I was able to take care of that. I felt good about myself. I was actually doing something and it was like now fulfilling for me and it was good for me and it's profitable because at the end of the day, I didn't have to ask for anything and I didn't have to want, and then I could also pour that into my business. But if you can't make the hours to do hair, it's just not going to sit. It's not going to go. They just didn't mesh. I was too tired. Then I had to take care of 2 kids. I tried. I really did try. It was very hard. And we moved a couple more times. So I kept losing these clients that would work with me. It's really like hard for me because I was just like, now I'm looking and I feel like I'm on the back end of things. I feel like I'm looking from the outside in, like I was in this industry. This was an era for me. I was doing hair like this. I should be much better now. And watching like the whole lace front thing going, I know that I can dominate that. I know I'm good at that. But my energy levels are different too. So now I don't have the same energy or even, what I'm saying? I don't know how to explain it, but it's just different. So it's kind of like, dang, can you imagine how far I would have been if I had just a couple more years, like stayed in it. And we got some things taken care of. We were able to move. I'm grateful for everything that happened because I was able to work and make that kind of money. But at the end of the day, now I'm trying to do this full time and a whole year in after quitting, I am frustrated because I'm like, dang, it's going to take a lot more for me to build a clientele because it's so oversaturated. Now it's so oversaturated. It's so oversaturated. It's so many people doing hair, so many people doing this, so many people doing that, and everybody's prices are different. So a lot of people are already used to certain people or driving really, really far. The only thing that's going to work for me right now is possibly because the area that I'm in, there are no black hairstylists. So that may or may not work for me. Who knows? Some people are used to who they go to, and they're perfectly fine driving an hour away to get that done. But getting my name out there and then also feeling confident in myself. I keep downplaying my work a lot, like a lot. A lot of times I'm doing hair and I'm just like, I criticize myself so hard. So I feel like because of that, I don't push myself as much for people to come. And that's bad because I'm not confident in my work all the way. I'm not pushing myself out there as much because I don't want people to be disappointed. I don't want them to be discouraged. I kind of just want to go back into beauty school still and try to really perfect that. But this is black hair we're talking. We're not talking about certain things that cosmetology can teach you. You know what I'm saying? It's different. It's a whole different space that cosmetology doesn't teach you about weaves and lace fronts and all that stuff. So I would have to take some courses, which I plan on doing. I would have to, perfect my craft, which I'm doing. So a lot of I'm working on self a lot this year to feel more confident in my craft, to feel more like I'm back in the industry and I know what I'm doing. And even if it's just for a rainy day, maybe I may not be meant to do hair like that for a long time. But it's a rainy day hustle. Like it literally is a rainy day hustle. If you can do hair, if you have a talent like that, it would be a waste not to perfect it, not to have it down, and not to utilize it, especially in times of crisis when there's nothing else that you can do. You've got this craft. So I would be doing myself a disservice to not perfect my craft and gain the knowledge that I need and still pursue perfecting that because it is a rainy day craft. It is a rainy day talent. I haven't had a talk like this with you guys in a while. I haven't had a talk like this with you guys at all. So I definitely wanted to do that. So you guys kind of follow me through this journey of figuring out what it is Liz is going to be doing for the rest of life for real. Like, I know I want to help people. I know I want to do things that make people feel good. So beauty is still on my radar. I still want to make wigs and do people's makeup here and there and do people's hair, but I don't want to wear myself out either. Like, I want to be able to come from behind the chair and now teach and motivate somebody else to do that. You know what I'm saying? So still figuring it out. I don't even know what to call it. It was a chit chat video, but more of a venting video, and also a letting you guys know a little bit more about me, because I don't think you guys really know me. And a lot of my videos are going to be a lot more like this. I guess we'll call it like a story time. Because yeah, I did kind of tell you guys how all this started, and I've shot this video several times and it never made it up. So hopefully it makes it up this time. And I did want to do this makeup look for you guys. Obviously I'm done now. I wanted to do this makeup look for you guys because, sorry, my lip is like half lined. I wanted to do this makeup look for you guys because in my last a couple of videos, you guys have been talking about my makeup. And so I was like, I guess I'll try to do another makeup look for them, or show them how I achieved that makeup look, so that, you know, if you wanted to see how it looked, I'll put it down in the description of that video. I'm just going to end the video by saying, you never know how life is going to, like, you know, life is going to direct you. You just never know. You cannot predict life. You just can't. One thing that you can do is, if you're passionate about something, if you totally within your gut, you feel like something is meant for you, pursue it. I don't care what it is. Pursue it, even if it feels funny at first. Be logical as possible. Be realistic as much as you possibly can. I'm not saying crazy ideas, but even the craziest ideas still deserve some attention, some love, some TLC, some encouragement. Like, you have to truly feel it in your gut, though. If you feel it in your gut and you know this could possibly be something, and you can buckle down, discipline yourself to pursue that, pursue it at all cost. I got comfortable after I started working in corporate. I got comfortable. Even though I was going through stuff, it was not what I wanted to do. I didn't hate it, but I hated how certain people were treating me in the workforce. I didn't like it, and I didn't like that I couldn't do what I wanted to do. It was a 6 year like thing of going back and forth between I'm doing hair and doing this. It was so annoying, and I did not have any fun in my mind doing that. That was more like a robot. I was a robot. And people can work in the workforce, no problem, all the time. My husband goes ham. There's a thing with like African men or like foreign men. They say that they work like that. Especially if you have tunnel vision for what you want. Some people can just be like, I'm going in. I'm going in. I'm going in. And that is perfectly fine. That is fine, but not everybody is like that. And you know what really stings is when somebody has a talent, when you know and you've figured it out, and you've identified that you have a full-blown talent that makes money, that you have potential to make money from. It's just so much more painful for you to go to corporate or go work and for somebody else, knowing that you could put all that energy towards your own business, your own services, your own self-improvement, your own pockets. You could do all of that for yourself and have even more time for your family as well. It stings. It really will. It'll mess with your head. Some people, they just don't like to work and they're lazy, or they just going through stuff at work, so it makes them feel like, oh, I can't wait I wish I couldn't do this. I wish I could be my own boss, whatever. And they're just saying it, but they really don't have the patience. They don't have a plan. They don't have a talent per se. They don't know what they would want to do if they didn't do this. But there's people like me and a whole bunch of people that I know that have a talent. They have something to give to the world. They have something that they can provide to people in need, whether it's just inspiration. There's inspirational speakers that are making money being inspirational speakers. They just talk about things that they know people will be appreciative of, and that will help them. It's helping them. So essentially, you don't even have to work hard. You speak from the heart, from the gut, from the soul, and what you're saying is helping people, you will be rewarded. I honestly truly believe that, and I don't have any ill will towards my time that I worked. I learned a lot, I gained a lot, but sheesh, I truly wish I stuck to my guns and my instinct and was like, no, I need to put in 2 to 3 full-blown years of learning this, of gaining this, of advertising, of pushing, of putting my stamp on this state, so that there ain't nothing you can tell me about my business. There ain't nothing you can tell me about my hands. I am the shit. Like, I feel confident. Versus now I'm kind of like, teeter-tottering in that little area. It's so oversaturated. Why do this? And people are more shady now. Now hair clients are bold and more ballsy and rude sometimes, show up late, or they decide that they're going to shade room you because of something they did that didn't turn out good for them, and they're mad. Like, it's so much nastiness now. It's like, it kind of turns you off. And honestly, I feel like if I had already put through my hours, my times, my days, not to say that there weren't people like that back then, but that I wouldn't even be trying to get that. Like, I could literally now weed through those people, and I can choose who I work with. Versus I can't turn down. I mean, I could, but it's not ideal for me to turn down a client because she's rude today if I'm trying to make money. You see what I'm saying? It's a difference now than then, because then it would have been like, I would be like Chris's mama. Everybody hates Chris, but I don't need this. My man got 3 jobs. I could have been like saying that all my life, but I genuinely want to be able to connect with my clients. I genuinely want to be able to build my brand. And I don't know if hair is it. Hair is a hustle. But that's how me being a mompreneur started. And now it's taking a mind of its own. Like me doing YouTube, that's how it started. All of that started. But I wasn't doing it for money. We weren't even getting paid back then. I didn't even know you could get paid on YouTube back then when I was doing it. I had no idea. I've been doing YouTube for a long time. To some, it seems like I just started. I've been doing YouTube for a long time, and I wasn't getting paid back then. I didn't even know about getting paid. I didn't know anything about that. There wasn't a thing. Or if it was, I didn't know about it. I sure as heck didn't know about getting paid. So for me, it was fun. I've been vlogging all of my life. I'm always going to vlog. I've been vlogging before vlogging became a thing. I love to take pictures. I love to capture moments. So for me, YouTube was another way to not only do that, but to share it with people, because that's what I like to do. But for me, I didn't realize that this could also potentially be even monetized. And then once it did become something that could be monetized, I realized, oh, I do have a knack for this, and I love doing this. So it's another thing that I could just do and just have on the side, and that I could totally reconnect or connect with you guys and tell you guys my story and tell you guys stuff that I know will be potentially great for you guys, or for somebody out there that is thinking about doing certain things and a little afraid, or a young mom that's African and has African parents that, they feel like they've shamed their parents. I have a lot of stuff that's happened to me that I feel like I can talk to people about. So for that reason, I'm grateful that I went through whatever I did go through in the past, and then also that had that time to kind of decide and learn that, yeah, I don't want that life. That corporate life is not for me. This is for me. I'm trying to stick to it, be strong in it, and not get deterred by anything. And for the most part, if I end up helping you guys, I will feel so good. I had a lady talk to me yesterday, and I haven't divulged certain things with you guys yet. They will come up over time. Just say subscribe. Over time, I'll start telling you guys more and more, and you will be stunned by a lot of stuff I got to tell you. I had a subscriber contact me yesterday to tell me something about something else, which I'm going to talk to you guys about that too. I know this video is getting long. To tell me about something else. And in telling me something else, ended up telling me something that about her household that directly is something that I deal with in mine. And I was just stunned. Like, I don't know what to do, because I didn't know. I know I've never said anything about this on my platform, and I've never been on her page. I wasn't even following her back. She's actually a ride or die, but I have not, ride or die royal, but I have not been on her page, her Instagram, let alone, because it's private, and I never saw anything on her page either. Like, I never saw anything. So, and I'm not the one who said it. She said it. So I don't know, but I truly believe that God brings certain people into my life for a reason. He definitely has. He did it all last year. He did it all last year. He's still doing it. And that was a reminder for me that my story, things that I have, that I've gone through, that I'm going through, that I can inspire, that I'm happy about, all those things are things that I'm going to continue to share with you guys over time, and that I know for a fact will be my reason for being on this platform. So whether or not I make that big bank or whatever, wherever this is supposed to go as YouTube, I'm confident in the fact that I will at least be able to help somebody, whether it's that YouTuber or that girl that wants to become a YouTuber or a mompreneur. Like, whatever. I don't regret it at all that I haven't been able to go back to beauty school. I am considering it because I want to be able to be confident in my work when I do hair, when I do get called to do makeup. You know, I want to be super confident. I want to be so confident that you could ask me for anything and I could be like, I can do it. I actually really want that. So I'm going to be continue to do self-improvement on myself. But yeah, this is all over the place video. It is now 11:52, 12 o'clock. I'm going to clean up my mess. And then I'm going to go ahead and start recording these videos for you guys. So if you want any more wig reviews, please check the description. I'm going to drop the first one that's going to come after this. Hopefully you guys liked chit-chatting with me a little bit. I know this was super long, but I just felt like talking to y'all today. I'm going to go in and drop the story time as well as to how I quit college, or I dropped out of college. And I will see you guys in the next video, you guys. I love you so much. Please continue to stay royal. I love you guys. Bye.